Yeah, go ahead.
Alright.
I go first. I go first.
Culling games, Yuta, no Shinjuku feats, no Shinjuku statements for Yuta, versus fully realized Maki.
Sure.
Alright, I'll be going
You want to
first.
start? So okay, bet you start.
I'll be sending my chain scale in chat.
Yeah. Let's write all this down. Yeah, let me just forward this.
Was it hold on. Sorry, I have to make sure it's accurate.
Be a rough one. Also, Wes, you don't sound too confident, bro.
I mean, I had 30 minutes of prep, but I think I'll be good.
Hey, Rizzhan, Tom was asking for a fictional tier list. Can I send yours?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so it's just Maki above relative to Cursia, Mach 3. Mach 3 just massively above Mach 1, who Yuji doesn't reach Mach 1. And the version of Yuji that doesn't reach Mach 1 is relative to Yuta, pretty much. Or I guess, yeah, Yuji just relative to Yuta, calling games.
Okay, bet. I'll just start with the Maki and Mach 3. So when you say Maki is Mach 3, are you referring to travel speed or are you referring to combat speed or just in general?
Either doesn't matter. She just reacts. I guess whatever's relevant.
Just reacts, because I don't think like reacting is sufficient for travel or combat speed. The two are very different.
Reacting, punching, dodging, yeah, all of them are.
And is this like precog or is this after precog? Because you know that her perception ability
It's fully
and her
realized.
visual ability. Yeah, if it's fully realized after she gains precog.
Her
And I
body
don't
still
think that
requires the velocity to actually move, right? So let's say I can see something's coming, but I only dodge it once it's like, maybe a foot away from my face. I still like my body will still be moving faster than that object
yeah, but the
because I'm
problem is
covering
that
I'm covering a higher burden with a lesser equal amount of time. So yeah, I'd
but the
still be moving faster. It's still completely conducive to the idea that she's faster in combat speed.
yeah, but the problem is that number one, we know that when Maki and Naoya are like running next to each other, we know that Naoya is faster ahead. And number two, we know that after she gets fully realized and after she fully realizes her abilities, we know that she gets something called precognition, which allows her to predict where things are going to go or where things are going to move based on changes in air temperature or airflow, which means that Maki probably doesn't actually scale to this speed. It's just the case that she has abilities which help her decipher Naoya's curse technique better because we know that Naoya and Nabito's curse technique, as stated multiple times, isn't just an application of speed or speed. It's speed in this like weird convoluted way. And we know that because when Chozo fights Naoya, even though Chozo is slower than Naoya, he's able to use something called FRSS, which improves his perceptual ability such that he's able to fight toe to toe with Naoya. So why does this mean that Maki actually
Okay,
scales
you
Naoya?
commit yourself to a couple of burdens here. First, right, prove what you said for the Choso shit that it allows him to fight toe to toe with Naya. Second of all, right, we can see like even after she's fully realized, like you just repeated your precognition point, but that didn't respond to what I said about the burdens. So I'll just get the
Okay,
scans where we see. Hold
if
on.
I repeated something, if I don't respond to something, can you just say it?
Yeah, I told you just now, like you didn't respond to, and I told you exactly what you didn't respond to. The thing about the burdens, it accounted for precognition. Like I can still have precognition,
Wait,
but
so
my
you want
body
me
is
to
my
wait?
velocity. Hold on, let me finish, please. The velocity of my body still has to scale to that thing, right? Based on the burdens that I guess based on the burdens that both parties have within that interaction. So can anybody tell me the chapter where Maki fights Cursia, and I can just get these for you.
Okay, so
So we're not
I'll just
arguing over nothing.
It's 190,
I just
I think.
I
All
just
right,
get the
thank you.
scans. I just get the scans for Chozo and Ioya. But regardless of that, when we're talking about precog, obviously her body has to have the velocity to react in time to dodge. But I already told you that the reaction speed, or being able to react doesn't necessarily correlate to combat or travel speed. I mean, we see this in real life and with real life physics.
She
A lot
punches
of
and
the time,
dodges him.
I already told you.
And then also the travel speed thing that you said, I wanted to bring that up.
I
I
mean, yeah,
wanted
you
to
can
talk about
send
it.
you
It's
can
not
send the
190.
scans. You can send the scans for punching and dodging. I already told
Okay,
you why
then we
dodging
can
doesn't matter.
wait until I get all the skins because
Yeah,
you know
I'll just get the scans for my side.
there's a lot you're talking about here, and also I'd like you to prove that first thing you talked about.
Yeah. I already told you why dodging doesn't matter. Punching is more significant, but I'll just get the scans for Chozo.
Okay, you're not understanding what I'm talking about. Like wait, you're gonna get the skin that I asked you to get, like all the skins that I asked you to get, including the claims
It's
that you made about
198.
the travel speed. Okay, that's fine.
With the
You can
scans and
go.
everything.
You can go ahead and get it, and then I'll wait for it.
Because
Yeah,
you
yeah.
asked for you asked for scans for Chozo now. Yeah, I'm gonna go get Chozo now. Yeah.
Everything I asked you for.
Yeah, you can just repeat everything you asked me for. If I
I
miss something.
repeated Infinity. Did I repeat it like a ample amount of times? Like I feel like
Hey, bro, that's up for y'all.
it's
I'm not the
it's
moderator, but
redundant
also
at this point.
the fight is 198.
Yeah, I'm
Look,
just saying so I don't miss
you're
anything.
going to repeat it again, pussy.
Hold on, we gotta mute this guy.
Yeah, everything's gonna be sent in scans.
Whew, man, I'm horny.
Yo, Infinity, what did you say, man?
Nothing, man. Hey, focus up, man. I can't.
He said you need to focus up. You're getting shit on. The guy's stuttering vehemently.
Cool, bro.
Yo, course of debate, guys. Course of debate. We all like each other, man.
Who's the judge?
This is coming from Infinity, by the way.
Yo, shut your bitch ass up, man.
At least before Infinity in here.
What the fuck
So
is
where's the debate
that?
at, bro? Why am I still waiting?
Yo, go to daycare, bro. You got daycare today, nigga. Calm
Yo,
down.
Shinra,
Shut
don't
your
distract
bitch
me,
ass
bruh.
up.
Shinra, don't distract me. You're gonna
Is
distract
somebody
me.
besides Infinity talking right now? I can't hear them.
I mean, it's Westbound and Nexus, but you probably have them muted, though.
Oh, so Westbound? Okay.
Yo, Sakasuki thinks that's mine. Like I would rank him that high.
Yeah, so Westbound. Another thing that you asked me for is specifically just about travel speed and combat speed.
Yeah, everything.
Okay, but are you asking me to prove like just in general or in the context of JJK? Because I think that we can just use a general principle
No,
and
the
apply it to
context
JJK.
that. Oh my god.
What are you saying?
The context that I asked you for.
Yeah, the context you asked me for travel speed not being able to
Yeah,
combat
obviously
speed.
like JJK, but okay. A bunch of
Yeah,
things I asked you.
yeah, which is why I asked you to repeat them if you asked me for a bunch of things.
Yeah, I asked you
Well, that's fine.
for the things. Yes, all the things, all the claims you made surrounding travel. The things about the
And most of it's just Naoya versus
robust.
Chozo.
Hold on, wait. Let me finish. I'm not done yet. The very strong claims you made about Choso and Naya that they went toe to toe. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
go ahead and prove that.
most of it, even in context of travel speed and combat speed, is Naoya versus Chozo, I guess. But I think travel speed not necessarily being correlated to combat speed is like even contextually and outside of context is something that's like, in my opinion, just consistent with facts that we observe about the world.
Go ahead and prove that.
Like, you want me to prove that it's consistent with facts that we observe about the world? That there's
Yeah.
different forms of movement. Yes, so I can just get like a physics article which elaborates on what travel speed and combat speed are and how they're different. Like, they correlate to different types of movement. Like, one of them involves, for example, being able to move your legs or feet in a certain way, and another involves being able to move long distances or move considerable distances in a fast amount of time. So, for
But are you
example, I
saying
can give you.
that they're not the same?
I'm saying that number one, not only are they not the same, however, it's not the case that they always have to be directly proportional to one another. So, for example, think about
You don't
Usain
think they
Bolt.
would
When Usain
proportionally
Bolt,
scale?
I don't think they have to be directly proportional. I think there can be instances where they can be directly proportional, but I don't think that it's necessarily the case. And just to give the example,
Biomechanically
think about
speaking, they will
Usain
be
Bolt.
proportional for most cases. Not
Wait,
even most cases.
one
Like, okay,
sec.
so if they're typically, hold on, if they're typically proportional, you'd
Give the
have to give a
example.
reason why they're not. All right.
Yeah, okay. One sec.
All right. So you understand what you just agreed to? All right. So go ahead,
Wait,
prove
wait,
your point.
one sec. Wait,
You
one
know what
sec.
comes next? This is, hold on,
Yeah,
I want to respond to your scans. You know what comes next? This is checkmate. You share my curse technique traces movement. He's focusing that technique in the external. All right, what chapter is this?
it's 142.
Okay.
Just to give the example I was going to give. So like when Usain Bolt like runs a race, obviously he has very fast travel speed. But if you were to put Usain Bolt in an MMA match against, I don't know, somebody like a lightweight or somebody who's very fast in terms of hand-to-hand combat, he's most likely going to lose. He's going to get outsped, all right, unless he just runs around the ring, which it really isn't combat speed. And even if he runs around the ring,
He's gonna
it's
utilize
enclosed
his
area.
fast twitch muscles, but regardless, it's still gonna be like to a relative extent, right? So like, um, I think you like overestimate how I guess the human limitations. So at this point, we're talking about characters that are just moving extremely fast. So it would proportionally scale. So even though like Usain Bolt wouldn't be able to, you know, dodge as fast as he's like able to run, or like some lightweight that practices their punching or their combat speed more than their travel speed, like maybe, you know, maybe they'd be able to tag him more or whatever. Like it still doesn't matter. Like naturally his combat speed would still scale up proportionally. So when we scale these up like thousands of times, which you know we can observe in JJK, when we scale these up thousands of times, it would also scale up proportionally thousands of times, like to some relative extent. And because the absolute difference, hold on, because the absolute difference decreases uh, as this gap grows, then at the end of the day, the difference between the two would just be like minuscule, or like you know, we can ignore it. I need to drink some water.
Nobody was speaking, bro.
I'll
Who's
just
holding
respond to
on?
that point. So about like them scaling like proportionally. Nobody's denying that it might be the case that when one goes up, another goes up due to how speed generally works. Because speed normally, well, like speed normally is like interdependent, right? So like you'll have one factor of speed tying into another factor of speed. Nobody's denying that. I'm just saying here that number one, there's probably and possibly and most likely a limit of proportionality where the travel speed reaches one point where the combat speed is either isn't going to reach or the
What's the
combat
argument
speed
for
stops
that?
being directly proportional to. Yeah, I'll elaborate on that. We can get into that later after I finish what I'm saying. So there's probably a limited proportionality with travel speed and combat speed, and even in fictional verses where like characters, these characters like are getting very fast in terms of travel speed, as long as the same general principles apply, that your combat speed, for example, can be higher or even much higher than your travel speed, and your travel speed can be, for example, much higher than your combat speed, even if their travel speed and combat speed is very high, whether they're high relative to one another, just because they're proportional is a different story. Because obviously the
No, I don't think
proportionality
you
or the
under.
rate of proportionality.
I don't
Wait,
think you
yeah,
responded to what I
you might not
said.
think I understand. Okay,
No,
and if you
I'm explaining to you how you didn't respond to the
but
gap
you
in the
asked me to
absolute
prove
difference.
no, you asked me to prove something. I know there's also some burdens that you need to fulfill as well. But you asked me to prove
Okay, go ahead and
something.
place them.
I'm gonna go ahead and prove them.
Go ahead and place
Well,
them.
yeah. I asked you to get me the panels about, for example, Maki dodging or reacting to Naoya, and also Maki like punching Naoya, um, and he's rushing her. Because I'm supposing that's the instance that
Okay,
you're
that's
talking
fine.
about.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah. And then I'll just like there's a limit of proportionality between travel speed and combat speed. That's fine.
Hold on.
Probably just like a real world example.
Yeah, no, that like you said there was like some burn you wanted to place on me like on that end, but you know you just didn't. You just fell back on the Maki shit. Let me get the scan for the
Yeah, I was
Maki.
referring to burdens
There we
that I can
go.
place for you.
Here's scan number 1. Here's scan number 2.
Yo, I'm keeping notes, bro.
Hey, W notes. W note taken there.
Maki, shut your bitch ass up, see?
Fuck you and your notes, nigga. We don't give a shit.
And I'll be looking for the Choso scan so that we can accurately go over that entire situation. Is that fine with you?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to be doing that.
I've like gathered like a multitude of factors from like the internet about what could be a factor that limits proportionality between travel speed and combat speed at a certain point. And note that I'm not referring to like a limited proportionality between travel speed and combat speed at any point. I'm just saying that there's probably just a benchmark or a certain instance where you gain a certain travel speed where your combat speed either doesn't follow or doesn't necessarily follow, and vice versa. And then
Okay.
you send the
You
Noyoya
want to
to
you want to
me.
you want to go
Have you
wait
sent?
wait hold on wait nobody said that they necessarily followed. We just said they typically
Yeah,
followed
yeah. I
because
already
they
I
typically
addressed
wait
two.
hold on
Yeah, I
wait no
addressed
no,
two of the
no. Okay,
interpretations.
I understand. Like let me
Yeah, I
speak.
listed two of I listed two of the
Let me
interpretations,
speak.
so it doesn't matter if you didn't say that or not.
Yeah. Okay, I don't care what you're talking about. I'm just going to clarify my position so nobody gets confused, right? Because you're very confused. What I'm trying to
Okay,
tell you is
I may
that
be
they're
confused.
okay, they do not necessarily proportionally follow, right? They typically proportionally follow. I've given you the
I
argument for
listed
why
both
they
the
typically
interpretations.
hold on, why they typically proportionally follow,
Are
how
you
they
going to
typically
get the Maki
proportionally
stance?
follow. Hold on. And how as the gap increases, or as the quantity increases, the gap between the two become infinitesimal. All right. So
You think it's
if
infinitesimal?
there is a reason, hold on. If there is a reason why they wouldn't necessarily follow in some, or why they wouldn't follow, sorry, why they wouldn't follow in some scenario, some given scenario, then I wouldn't be opposed to accepting that reason. However, a reason has to be given. So if these sources on the internet that you're trying to quote to me, which I hope are peer reviewed, like give some sort of reason, like externally, I don't care. Like that doesn't affect my argument in any way, shape, or form.
Wait,
Now,
okay, so
please allow
you
me to
said there's a
keep
gap
looking.
between them
Hold on.
being
Please
infinite.
allow me. I'm not finished. Please allow me to keep looking for my scans.
Bro,
Yeah,
can I just
okay.
get the
I'll
stance? I
just
know what
ask
he's
a
talking
question.
about. Like, y'all are going to keep on
Yeah,
going on to different points of shit.
yeah. Infinity,
No,
you can
no, for
still
the
get the scans.
Choso and Naya shit.
Um,
Okay, I already sent the scans for chosen. No, yeah, yeah. If you want to get more, that's fine. But for the infinitesimal thing, what do you mean by the gap between them would be infinitesimal? Are you saying that when one scales up, like the order of magnitude would get like the rate of the order of magnitude would get like so small that there wouldn't be a difference between one another? Like the difference is negligible?
Pretty much, yeah. That's what I've been saying for 20 minutes.
And wait,
And hold on,
okay, I'm
wait. Just to further elaborate, the argument for this was uh humans on a small scale, like we move relatively within our travel speed. We move, like the percentage on a baseline isn't like some huge thing. You'd have to quantify that. Uh, and basically, as we scale up proportionally, as we scale up like thousands and tens of thousands of times, uh, this gap, the absolute difference, would become smaller and smaller and smaller, to a case where like there can be some sort of gap, but it's not necessarily negligible.
okay, why would I grant that? Because there's a number change, there'd also be a percentage change or like a change in the general principle, right? Like why would I grant that? Like, what I mean here is just that, so for example, say that somebody has a travel speed of 100 and like they have like a combat speed of like, I don't know, 90. And we say that every time their travel speed increases by 100, their combat speed increases by 90.
Because
Why
we
would
both
I
made real
agree?
world observations using the natural sciences to claim or to confirm hypotheses of how combat speed and travel speed intertwine using the fast twitch muscles. We went over this with the Usain Bolt and the lightweight in the UFC shit. Like, did you completely forget this?
No,
Like this is redundant.
I agree. No, I already heard
Okay.
about the fast twitch things. I'm just saying that the fast twitch the fast twitch things wouldn't speak about like the order of magnitude between combat speed and travel speed. It wouldn't speak about the order of magnitude. It would just talk about the current relation, right? The current relation just how these things work together in an actual scenario, in the current scenario. Whoever
Okay,
orders
so
of
when they are
magnitude.
scaled up,
Wait,
then
wait,
it
one
would.
sec. Wait, one sec.
Okay,
Wait, one sec.
go ahead.
Wait, one sec. The order of magnitude is obviously going to speak on future numbers, like how these things would increase in the future, right? So that's what I'm
We
talking
can
about. The
use
order
them
of
as a
magnitude.
basis to, yes, we can use them as a basis to make, the likely induction that they will increase in some way, unless, you
Nobody's
can
disagreeing
provide
that they'll
any
increase.
any sort of like
This is
external
like a
example
mistrack.
showing otherwise.
This is a mistrack. Nobody's denying they'll increase. What I'm saying is that they can increase. However, what I'm confused about is why, for example, the rate that one grows at, like for example, let's say that somebody's combat speed increases by 50. Who's
Because
that?
the
Okay, wait, wait.
mechanisms,
Bro, can y'all
that
mute
they
C? Can y'all
use,
mute C? Can y'all
this
mute
is
C?
a,
Can y'all mute C? Can
this
y'all mute C, bro? Thank you.
Rizhan, this is actually a mistrack from you. I don't deny, I'm not saying that you're denying that the quantification like would scale in the way that we're framing it. What I'm saying is that because we can link the mechanisms in which the two are used, then we can make the induction that as it's scaled up, it would scale proportionally in such a way that the absolute difference would slowly become negligible. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? If not, we can move
Wait,
on.
wait, no,
If you
nobody's
think I'm
denying. Okay,
mistracking right now, we can move on.
it's like nobody's denying that they would scale proportionally. That's not what I'm saying. Like that's not what I'm denying. What I'm specifically denying is number one, them scaling proportionally would not mean that, for example, they'd become infinitesimal, or the gap between them would become negligible, because we understand that. Okay, you're even making a stronger claim, because
The
I'm saying at
absolute
some point.
difference. Oh my god.
Wait one sec. What you're making a stronger claim here, because I agree that they're proportional. I just think that there's limited proportionality due to these certain factors, which we can get into later after we finish
You
with this
haven't
point.
placed the limiting
You're
factors.
making.
You
Yeah,
you
I just
just
said we can get into
earlier
it.
you said that
I
you
don't know
don't
why you
believe that
keep.
there's
I
said
don't know
there's
why you
you
keep.
don't believe that there's these limiting factors, and now you're saying that there's
No,
these
I
limiting
already told.
factors. When I ask
I,
you for proof, for
what?
these limiting factors, you don't give them. You just give external I guess like
That's not
external
what I said.
reasons to why
You
we
didn't
would
even.
show that
You
one
didn't
thing's
even
an
track.
outlier. I need you to show me
No,
something.
wait, no, you didn't even track what I said. The whole argument is that they're directly proportional until a certain point, and then they reach a limited proportionality. And obviously, a limited proportionality is going to exist due to some pre-existing limiting factors, which cause limited proportionality to happen, or cause them to stop being directly proportional,
Okay, I'm
or
saying,
change
can
their
you
relation.
place where this limit
Yes,
of
I'm going to.
proportionality is?
I already told you I'm going to do that, but you interrupted me while I was making my
I
point, so I don't
asked you
know why
for
you
the
keep doing that.
okay, Infinity. Can you vouch? Did I not ask him to give me
Yes,
where
I know
this
you
limit
asked
is
me,
like for
but
the last 20
I was in the
minutes?
middle of my. I
Nobody's
was in the middle of my.
mistracking. I'm asking you to prove your claim. You're just repeating your claim over and
I didn't
over
say
again.
it right. I didn't say right now you're mistaken. I said I was in the middle of my point, and then you interrupted me. I don't know why you keep doing that.
Okay, okay, all right, nigga, get the fucking point, bro.
Like,
Yeah,
come
okay.
on, bro.
So,
This is ridiculous.
Y'all taking too long, but come on.
okay,
For
so
this
I'd
point.
like to move on
thing,
from this point. He's just not being substantive.
okay, apparently I'm not being substantive. That's fine.
Chill, chill, chill,
But
chill with the talk. Just go, 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 go,
okay,
go, go.
so yeah, okay. So the things that I'm trying to call into question here is that, or the things that I'm like, that I just don't see why I choose that. For example, when we see that there's a specific ratio that the relation goes up by, so for example, if one goes up by 5, one goes up by 10, why would it be the case that now the gap between them would become infinitesimal? I don't see why that would be the case. And also for the fast twitch muscles thing, obviously the fast twitch muscles thing are going to be relevant, but we normally see that the fast twitch muscle things, for example, for combat speed, have different uses or different roles in relation to combat speed and to travel speed. The fast twitch muscles aren't doing the same thing when it comes to combat speed and travel speed, because we know that combat speed and travel speed are two different types of movements, right? So I don't see how the fast twitch muscles here are like absolutely relevant to what we're talking about. But yeah, I can just name limiting
Wait, so
factors.
you don't think
So
you don't think fast twitch muscles are relevant? And by the way, it's not just fast twitch muscles, right? They're like fast twitch muscles were just the example I gave, which do supplement both. So you don't think that fast twitch muscles are like extremely relevant in both travel speed and
no, I think they're
combat speed?
relevant. I think they're relevant, but I think that there's probably an equivocation going on about which roles that the fast twitch muscles have in proportion to combat speed and in proportion to travel speed. But again, if you want me to name the factors that you've been wanting me to name, that's fine. Okay, so with
Wait, hold on,
travel
wait,
speed and combat.
hold on. Like before you do that, like I just have to tell you something. The reason why I'm saying the absolute value, like the gap between the absolute value, like becomes something that's like, you know, not relevant or like infinitesimal. Obviously, it's not actually infinitesimal.
I
I'm
think
just
you're
saying that
walking
it's
back on
like
that.
this very little gap. Hold on, because uh, proportionally speaking, when we analyze humans at this level that we are right now, uh, again, it's like extremely relative. That's what I'm saying. So when we upscale it, and people move like massive distances, uh, it doesn't mean they're moving like an insane amount faster. It's kind of like, think about it like this: when you're driving, somebody that's going 60 miles per hour will be going, I guess, 2 times as fast as somebody that would be going 30 miles per hour. So you'd get to your destination in 30 minutes if the baseline is like some it's 1 hour away, 30 miles per hour. But if you're going 90 miles per hour, you'd get to it not 2 times faster because the absolute difference, but you would be getting to it at 0.5 times or 1.5 times faster than you would when you're going 60 miles per hour. That same principle I'm using to apply here, right? So as we upscale, as we scale up, the absolute difference becomes less and less relevant. Do you understand what I'm saying here?
I already told you, I just don't think that it's reached a point. For example, when we're moving at Mach 2 or Mach 3 speeds or Mach 1 speeds, it's reached a point where the absolute difference would just become irrelevant here. I don't think it's reached that point. I think it could reach that point with incredibly high speeds. But for example, we deal with these kinds of speeds. For example, do you know when you
Okay,
crack a
go
whip?
ahead and prove that.
No, wait. Do you know when? No, do you know when some people crack a whip, right? And you like
Yeah,
use
go.
your hand
Wait,
to
no,
crack a whip.
wait.
The
Are
whip,
you gonna like prove it analytically right now with this analogy or something? If not, I need some
analytically.
empirics for
No,
that.
the analogy is just to give us an idea. But I just want to finish what I'm saying, and I also
Okay.
give the factors like which you've been asking for. I don't want to be interrupted this time. But do you know when people crack a whip, the whip can break the sound barrier. It's like the movement of the whip can break the sound barrier. So it's not like we don't deal with these fast speeds all the time. But I'm still saying that given that these fast speeds are still things that which are tangible to us, the general principle should not only apply, but I'd expect the general principle to not apply for speeds which are incredibly fast. So speeds which, for
Just
example,
because
near
humans
the speed of
typically
light.
interact with this, hold on. Just because humans typically interact with this level of speed doesn't mean that it would still scale proportionally. I don't see like how that follows whatsoever. So I'll need you, hold on. I need you to get like some sort of argument for this, because the analogy you gave me just now
No, but you're arguing for them to
didn't
scale
prove anything.
proportionally. No, you're arguing
What?
for them to scale proportionally. Yes, you're
Obviously
arguing
they're
for travel
scaling
speed of
no,
Mach
no,
3 to
no,
scale
hold on,
proportionally.
hold on. I mean doesn't mean they don't scale proportionally. I'm sorry, I misspoke. Right. Doesn't mean they don't scale proportionally. Obviously I'm arguing for them scaling proportionally. It doesn't mean that they
No, no, I'm not
don't scale
denying
proportionally,
this.
or hold on, or
This is
that
like a
like
misstructure.
at subsonic it wouldn't be like some level where it becomes like entirely less relevant than when Usain Bolt fights like some UFC lightweight fighter. Do you see what I'm trying to say here?
Yeah, I understand what you're trying to say, but this is just like a mistrack because I'm not claiming that they do not scale proportionally. That's not what I'm saying. So when you say it does not mean that they don't scale
No,
proportionally,
I mean
that's
scale
irrelevant to my
proportionally, and
point.
such that the gap absolute like the gap in absolute difference becomes like infinitesimal or like negligible. That's obviously the implications of what I'm saying. I'm not saying you're not claiming this thing at all. It's just like a shortened version, so that we like moving on with the debate, we know like each other's argument, and I can just use this shortened version to encompass like the
If you
totality
want
of
to
what
use
you're
this,
saying. But
if
yeah,
you want
like
to use this
obviously you know
shortened,
what I'm trying to say.
okay, yeah. We can get okay, so we can get the empirics for the claim about like the
Go ahead.
subsonic speeds.
Yeah, I'll
And
wait.
then also like, you want me to like just give the factors which I was talking about earlier?
Um, I mean obviously.
Yeah, okay, so I just give them all together. So I just get
Yeah,
the
just
empirical
send the
studies.
empirics for everything.
Yeah,
And
I
by the
just get
way,
the
like
empirical.
yeah, by the way, like uh judge, everyone listening, we have to still go over Maki punching Cursia and
Yes.
Mr. Choso fighting Naya.
Nigger.
Who said that?
Infinity War.
Me.
Was that Infinity?
That
Yeah.
was definitely Infinity.
Okay, let me just get these. Uh, Just give me like 2 or 3 minutes. My
Do
internet's going.
you want to just take like a quick 5-minute break? Because I also have some things I want to look for.
Yeah, if you need something to do, that's fine. But I'm just no.
So, I mean, how's everyone's day doing? I mean, pretty
Yo,
good.
yeah. Your time, I've been doing good, man. How about you, man?
Hey, that's fucking fantastical, man. I'm doing good. How's everyone's, 2026 going so far? I mean, it's been another fantastical year, another year of anime debating. I mean, yeah.
Is this yo time?
I mean, yeah, like what I've noticed that Archie's in VC. So Archie, how have you been, actually?
I've been pretty good, man. How about you? How have you been?
It's good, man. I've been, just living prideful. Recently came out. It's been amazing.
Dude, same. And I came out with, me and my boy Dexter X. Yes, bro. All of us did.
Is
I
that
always knew that dude was in the
Oh
closet.
my goodness. Is that
Archimedes?
Archimedes? My predecessor in slaying Yanni? Wow.
Who's
Type
Yanni?
Hey, look, I don't know. Look,
Okay.
this is a new year. There's no slaying. Better calm the fuck down, all right, pal?
Sorry, yo time.
Bro. Yeah. Yes, and then we have another thing. Mm,
Yuta.
that's not using that.
Bro, what scans? Okay. Are there any JJ
No, like
No,
in the
games?
he's
scans,
getting
I'm looking
empirics.
for
Like he's trying to get some
getting
real
empiric.
world shit.
No, I know. I'm saying so. Rizzhan is getting empirical evidence, but
I'm getting
what's
scans
about?
from the anime, from the
Yeah, I
manga.
know. I'm saying, what scans are you looking for? Because I know you're. Yeah.
I think I have all of them.
And Rizzhan, there's no JJK scans that you need, right? You're just getting empirical evidence.
No.
He's never gonna find what he needs, by the way.
You have it. I already sent it in scans.
Sounds wonderful, man. All right, give me 5 minutes to read all this. Kinematics. Oh, I love this. Physics 1. Yeah, I sounded like such a nerd, bro. Oh my god, I lost all my
Hey,
right.
Rizzhan, if you want, you can literally just type out the limiters while he's reading or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. Oh yeah, I bet.
In
23
scans.
pages.
Just type them out now.
I will clarify that I judge purely off argumentation, so I'm not charitable. So just to clarify.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
And then
Wait, and can you also do? Yeah. Oh, Infinity. Did you already tell him to like write out the limiters?
yeah, I'm
So I
writing
know
that.
what to look for.
Writing out that.
Yeah, write out exactly what I should be looking for in these.
White girl songs, bro.
And preferably like quote, cite the text.
You want me to quote the text? That's fine.
Yeah, cite the text as well. Like if you can.
Wait, what song is that again? Hide, I forgot.
And
Oh yeah.
then I'll just cite the text right now. Then we can go over everything.
Sounds wonderful.
Oh, can somebody catch me up, bro?
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I wish we had more substance to talk about.
No,
I
man.
mean, we
I
could
love
talk
it.
about Yuji. We can talk
I
about
let
Yuji and Yuta.
I'm not gonna lie. Wait, like if I just got a scan of like Maki's travel speed, like being relative to like her best speed, like would that work to build like some sort of consistency for the proportionality as it
I
scales
mean,
up in speed?
if
If
yeah,
if
if
not, then we
this
can literally just argue over the empirics. I don't mind. Like
Yes.
I have like there's nothing more I'd like to do than knowledge cliff you on physics.
Hey, y'all can argue whatever y'all want, man.
Tracking, direction, change, environment,
Hey, y'all
navigation.
can
Bro,
argue
you
both
could,
if y'all want.
bro, you can always cliff me on physics, but if I drag you down into metaphysical muddy
Yo,
waters, you
relax.
won't be able to.
We don't gotta do that. We don't gotta do
Hey,
that.
y'all can talk about both. Hey, talk about
Hey, we don't
both.
gotta do all that, Rizzhan. We don't gotta do all that. Energy consumption. Okay, difference in energy consumption. I don't. How can you like? How is energy consumption relevant? Both consume
Well,
energy, right? Even if they don't like consume it
I know
relatively,
they
like one
consume
consumes
energy in
more.
different ways.
Hmm?
Well, they consume energy in different ways.
Yeah,
Which,
that's fine. I don't see how that's conducive to the speed.
well, yeah, because if they consume energy in different ways, or one consumes much more energy than the other, then you're going to be limited in the amounts or how fast you can go in one specific aspect of speed at a time. So, for example,
Yeah, so
let's say
so
that.
basically,
Wait
so
one
yeah,
sec.
this is just
Wait one sec.
hold on. This is yeah,
One sec.
so yeah, this
Can
is
I
just
finish what I'm
length,
saying?
right? Yeah, this is length, like how long you can keep up the speed. That's
Wait,
fine,
no,
but we're talking about like
no, wait, no,
brute
wait,
speed.
no.
Brute speed
Can,
energy can I've
no,
yet to see how
I'm
energy
talking about. I'm
consumption
talking
is.
about the energy. When I'm talking about the energies that the necessary cells need to produce in the organism to actually perform the work. But can I finish what I'm saying?
Isn't it just ATP for both?
Um, combat speed specifically, but obviously travel speed is going to need
ATP for
ATP as well.
both. Yeah,
Yeah, I said
they like
for combat
it's
speed.
not like
Yeah,
something different. Like if you want to say one uses more energy,
I know it's not different. I know it's not
yeah,
different. I said
so then the only
ATP.
thing, yeah,
But
unless someone's like chronically ill, like they can't, run for more than a second or like dodge for more than half of a second, right? At the end of the day, this doesn't make it relevant. All right, so like as long as they have sufficient energy, right, there's nothing changing the proportionality as far as energy consumption goes. Reaction time and navigation.
well, no, it would because, for example, if somebody is doing repetitive combat movements and somebody just runs, like, for example, a very short distance, I can expect that the repetitive combat movements would require more energy than the traveling just like one linear direction in a very fast
Yeah,
amount of
that's
time.
fine, but I'm saying, okay, instantaneous velocity. We look at the velocity at one point. Um, generally speaking, like if they're fine on energy, like energy is negligible, they have like good reserves, then it it wouldn't really affect
But
speed
the whole
in a
point about the
vacuum.
energy
Like the only reason why it would
about the
affect
energy
speed is
consumed is
hold on,
going.
wait, let me finish. The only reason why it would affect speed is because like it affects your I guess like it affects how tired you are, and then how tired you are would relates to output. Um, regardless of that, that doesn't mean like one is faster than the other.
Well,
It doesn't make
no,
one
but
inherently
energy.
faster than the other.
And
It's more of like an overtime thing.
nobody's
Then
saying
you
that
just
this
put them on
means
a
one.
graph.
Nobody's saying that this inherently means that one is faster than the other. I don't even think you understand the point. But that's not even what I'm saying. I'm saying that if the energy consumption between both is different, both, for example, but if we plug it into like, I don't know, like a work done equation, both are going to like yield different results. Like both are
Obviously,
going to like yield
both
different
can
work
hold
done.
on. Both can yield different results over time. Like depending on the that's fine. But I'm saying like proportionally speaking, the speed is going to be relative. It's going to scale up, right? So the work done over time graph is still going to scale up proportion. Hold on, the work over time graph is still going to scale up
What do you
proportionally
agree?
as we get fat. Hold on, as we get faster. So like again, I'm asking for like how this is some sort of relevant distinction.
No, no,
So
no.
reaction
Nobody's
time and
denying that the
navigation, we
work.
can go over that. The reaction time and
Nobody's.
navigation, we can go over that.
No, nobody's doing. Wait, nobody's saying that it would go up as you get faster. It's just that the types of movement by which you are getting faster in substantially different. Though it might be proportional for the concept of getting faster that you specifically have in your mind. There's like an equivocation going on between what we mean by getting faster. So, for example, if I move my arm in like a linear direction and I aim to punch somebody really quickly, and like in another aspect, like I want to run from point A to point B, right? Obviously, the same energy stores, I guess you can say, are being used. But the, number one, the way that I'm applying that energy, the way that I'm doing the work, and
Yeah,
number
one
two,
has a higher
the way that
load,
this
so
has,
over
wait, no,
time it would be
the one,
different. Okay, so
the way that this
all
has,
right, so
wait, no, the way
you
that,
agree it still scales up proportionally. That's fine. I
no,
don't care about
the
this.
way that this
This
has,
isn't a
wait, no,
response.
the way, are you going to let me finish what I'm saying? The way that this
No,
has an
I
effect
because you're just
on this,
repeating. Okay, like I'm
the
trying to
way that this
explain to you
has an
this isn't a
effect,
response.
yeah, the way that it has an effect on the certain limbs or on the certain body parts used will obviously change as well. the whole point is that no, it's not that it does scale up. It's that there's obviously these are going to be things which limit the fact that it's directly proportional, right? It's not saying that, for example,
It's
at
going to
one
be
point,
relatively proportional. That's what I'm arguing. Directly proportional is arguing for necessity. I'm saying typically. So yeah, unless you can
wait,
give like some sort of hold on, unless you can give some like external factors. Again, this point is not relevant. I'm trying to explain that to you. Still scale it proportionally typically,
give
right?
I already gave the external factors, like you're just not understanding
What
what I'm
external
saying.
factors within this context would be given? Would need to be
I
given?
already gave the
Like, okay,
factors
does
about Westbound. I already gave the
by
factors
external
about
factors,
limbs.
I mean,
I already
hold on, does Maki have like, hold on, by external factors, these are obviously external factors when we're speaking about like, hold on, about what relates to the speed. Obviously, that's fine. I'm not talking about that, but I'm asking for why these are relevant factors when it's scaled up proportionally. The only thing that would change how it's scaled up proportionally is if you can find a case, which like a relevant case that we're talking about right now, where maybe Maki's like has way higher ATP consumption when she's running rather than when she's punching or vice versa, right? So that's what I'm asking you for. I
no,
guess
but
maybe like
it's
something within the context that we can analyze. If we
no,
know
but it's
that
the type
typically
of
that it's
thing that
still hold on, if we know
we
that
have to.
typically hold on, if we know that typically it would still scale up proportionally, then I don't care for these things that can
No,
have
but it's
like
the type of
extreme
thing that
hold on
has.
that can have
No,
like
the
extreme
whole point is
consequences. I
that it's
don't
just a
care.
type. No, the whole point is just that it's a type of thing which has a generally consistent basis on the principles of biology and chemistry. That they're going to require different consumptions even if the energy level is the same. So, for example,
No,
the lactic
it's gonna
acid.
be it's ultimately it's gonna be
Yeah,
the same
yeah,
consumption. It's gonna be the same
wait,
consumption.
wait, you
Like
wait, you think it's the same?
we already agreed when it's reduced down to like when it's reduced like it's just same consumption. It's just methods of consumption are like different. That's fine.
I already told you that I don't think it's the same consumption. I think that the energy levels are the same. So in terms of the energy store, however, given the fact that we're using different mediums and modes, the different mediums and modes that we're actually using to perform the activity are obviously going to
What do
require
you mean by
different amounts of
medians and
energy.
modes here? Are you talking about like
A
within a
medium,
set?
a medium and mode is just the way that you do it. So it's going to require different levels of energy. That's just trivial. But if you don't want
Okay.
to
Sorry. No,
carry on with
sorry.
this,
I
that's
like
fine.
I couldn't hear your accent. I thought you meant median
Yeah.
and mode, and I was like, that's not
I
coherent.
said
Yeah,
medium
okay.
and
So
modes.
the method in which you do it. Okay, that's fine.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Go ahead with what?
What you were just saying?
I already
You're
finished what I
saying
said.
okay, then repeat the last part of what you said then.
Okay, what I was saying is that obviously it might be the case that you have the same energy capacity, but given the fact that you're using, for example, different limbs, different methodologies to actually carry out the same action, winning the same action you have, winning the same end goal, it's still going to be the case that one could potentially or does actually just take up more energy than the other. So, for example,
Jesus Christ, you're not
think about if
tracking.
yeah, no, you know, you might think that I'm not tracking, but this is clearly relevant to the point. So, for example, think about like in your legs when you do a lot of running you might have like a
Yes,
lactic
I
acid buildup.
understand they're different. They can scale differently, but like when
Oh my God,
hold on, when scaled up like it's still going to be proportional, right?
this is this is like not even relevant to what I'm saying. Nobody's denying that they're going to be proportional. In fact, we can just conclude because nobody's denying they're going to be proportional. It's like we can just conclude. Like you don't understand what I'm saying. I think this would be a
I
good time
don't
to
think you
conclude.
understand what the point is.
You might not understand what the point is. That's fine. We can just conclude.
All right, that's fine. We can
Okay.
conclude on this.
Yeah, like that's
Like
fine.
it's just it's really bad for you.
Okay, so as the judge, I joined late. Who got power drilled, bro?
Fucking Rizzhan.
Westbound, westbound.
Rizzhan, bro, you were just like repeating yourself for 10 minutes. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you also did that, and then when I didn't even
I
repeat
did
myself,
not
you just made
repeat myself for 10 minutes. I was asking you for the relevance and
you
then
literally
giving
have a
you out to oh my
you
goodness.
literally
We're
have
not
a
doing
problem
this.
with repetition, but at least you have a problem with repetition. But yeah,
No, the
I mean,
problem
I
with
wasn't even.
repetition is that it's compromising dialectics when we could be talking about way more important things.
No, but I'm saying
Yeah,
that you
yeah,
have a
yeah.
problem with
So Infinity, man. I mean, like, who won this debate, man?
The point's not wait, the debate's not over. We've been debating for an hour. Holy shit. Oh no, 50 minutes. Bro, what the fuck? Okay, we have to finish. Okay. Um I'll just get all my shit
Can
now.
y'all go past the timer? Like, yeah.
Yeah, we can go. We have to go
Are
past the
you fine
timer.
with that,
Like
Rizzhan?
Rizzhan, are you fine with going past the timer?
probably only have like I don't know how long I have left.
Ah, you little pussy.
Bruh,
What do you
please,
mean?
bro.
What? Okay, I'll go for as long as I need to. Then that's fine.
Okay, so I mean, do y'all want to conclude on this point as in give a summarization of who won? Or I mean, your
Um,
arguments?
Guess so.
I don't feel like I need to. I'm gonna be honest. Somebody was confused.
I mean, you were the one that was confused, but
Ironic.
if you want me to, I can. But
I mean, you were just saying
Wait,
that
would you like a conclusion, Infinity?
if y'all want to give one,
Okay,
but just
Rizzhan, go
to,
first.
okay,
okay.
so what we started off with is just that
I think I
Maki.
already know your conclusion, bitch. Hey, Westbound, can you give your conclusion?
Uh,
All right.
Wait, okay, hold on, my bad. Just to clarify, you're just saying that the amount of consumption, considering the action is different, the amount of consumption when it comes to the energy is obviously going to be distinct, and then obviously that's going to change the result of what we're talking about because the energy consumption is distinct. Like for example, punching is going to consume a different amount of energy than walking 2 feet or whatever. So obviously the end result is going to be not the same.
you talking to
Correct,
me?
Rizal?
No, yeah, I was saying that the end result is the same. However, the methodology which you get to the end result, which affects the work done, is going to be different. So it
What's the end
affects the
result in the
energy.
instance that you're saying are identical?
So, for example, let's say the end result is to get to to get to point A from point A to point B. If I I don't know, like a doggy paddle from point A to point B, that's obviously going to consume more energy. Not only that, but the way that I'm doing it is obviously just going to make me slower compared to if I run, which probably consumes less energy and is a much more efficient way of doing it, at least
Okay,
in proportion to where you want.
go ahead, Westbound.
Okay. Yeah. So anyway, Infinity. So basically, the entire argument was. I'll just start from the beginning.
Wait, are y'all concluding on the entire everything that y'all argued so far?
No. This
No,
point.
I'm saying everything that y'all
He
argued so
said
far.
some things that I haven't responded to yet on the
Okay, I was about to
Koso
say
and
because bro, one point that was brought up kind of makes all this shit irrelevant. But go ahead.
yeah. So basically, relatively speaking, with our body's biomechanics, we can see that combat speed and travel speed is like intertwined. There is a difference between them. However, when we analyze them on this small scale that we humans relate to, it's like extremely relative. Rizzhan never contended this, so I said it would then follow mathematically that when we scale up proportionally, the absolute difference would then become smaller and smaller to a point where it just simply wouldn't be relevant. So when we scale it up thousands of times to Mach speeds, uh, then the travel speed would also scale up proportionally. And then Rizzhan said, okay, but there are these external factors that would make these two things distinct. And what he brought up were just things that affect, I guess, something that would be like work over time in a graph, right? So let's say I dodge side to side really fast for a minute. That's going to consume more energy than me running. That's fine. I'm not denying that. Right. But however, when we're looking at an instance where somebody just has like a large amount of energy, i.e., Maki, uh, she can do both without consuming a lot of energy. I say this in the recording, I'll say it again. She can do these things without expending large amounts of energy. So I don't see how this thing is relevant. And also, on top of that, it would just scale proportionally upwards while accounting for the energy consumption. So even as the energy consumption is I guess like deviating the two, like it would still scale. It would still be proportional. And he time and time again just says, yeah, I don't mind that they're proportional. It would still scale up proportionally. He's saying these things, he's bringing these things up as something to limit the rate of proportionality, but these things don't limit the rate of proportionality. Something that would limit the rate of proportionality would be something that you can say, okay, at 500 miles per hour, then the energy consumption would like for running would be massively greater or massively less or something like that. By setting these thresholds, we can test a limit, but these things just change the graphs. They don't change the proportionality. Because he hasn't fulfilled his burden of limiting the proportionality, his argument cannot go through.
Okay, so I have a few questions just to make sure I give the judgment correct, since niggas will say I'm going to be biased either way. So one, I apologize. Westbound, how'd you respond exactly to the whip? Because I have an idea of your response, but I just want to clarify. How'd you respond to the whip analogy that he gave, or the whip example that he gave? If I
Yeah,
did,
I don't basically just because we interacted or we interact with things that go like Mach 1, it doesn't mean that it changes the proportionality at all. And we can't even like react to these things. These like the crack
proportionality,
of a whip, we just know that.
you're saying that that example wouldn't work within this situation
Yeah,
because it's the case
it's
that
just
it's
not
not
analogous.
actually.
It doesn't help him at
Yeah,
all. And he like
it's
agreed that
disanalogous
it didn't
because
help him.
is this analogous because the speed of the whip specifically isn't proportionate to our own
Biomechanics, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Now, Rizzhan, how would you respond? Well, let me just clarify this. Westbound, with the Maki can do this thing, are you saying that the way that her body works, it allows her to do this thing? Because what
She
you
just
said
has
within
a
your
large amount
conclusions.
of energy. So like
Okay,
the
but
energy
okay, hold
consumption
on.
thing
But
wouldn't
how
be
would you
relevant. I said
respond?
this like 3 times.
Okay, but how would you respond to Rizhan saying that the amount of energy is irrelevant because we're talking about the energy consumed? So although it can be the case that there's these two entities with high amounts of energy, we're talking about the energy consumption, not having high levels of energy.
Yeah, I know the energy consumption would be irrelevant. So basically, just for running, like for anybody, it would take like 10 ATP. So if Maki has 1,000 ATP, then 10 ATP would be like a drop in the mud or a drop in the ocean. Like it doesn't matter because of her high like storage. He didn't give
Yeah,
an
I
argument for why
responded
the
to that.
energy
No, I
consumption
But
was
responded to that
Rizhan, wait,
proportional.
100%.
correct me if I'm wrong, Rizhan, but okay, are you not saying in response to that it follows that sure it can be the case that she has more energy, but that's not talking about the consumption rate in comparison to the other action, which would entail speed differences or efficiency differences?
Yeah, I also
It
highlighted
just wouldn't be
about like
relevant. So even
Wait,
if
hold on,
it
hold on,
does,
wait,
so
chill,
I
chill,
also
chill, wait,
asked,
wait, wait. When you say yeah, is that your argument? Yes or no? Is that one of your
I
arguments?
also I also talked about intensity as well. It's like the intensity would matter. I already talked about intensity within the
But
video.
intensity is just going to talk about higher levels of consumption, though. So that's kind of
yeah.
irrelevant to this specific topic.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
But
like
exactly.
even
so
like even if the proportionality scares, I mean, even if the consumption scales like in a certain way, I
yeah,
don't see how it's relevant. Like
okay. And then as a
it's still
response,
like a drop in the mud. It could be 5 times greater, but like if it's negligible when we're talking about Maki.
and just to clarify, is it the case that one? Because I see that you send the scans, but so one, is it the case that the way her body works, given the amount of energy that she has, is the only reason why you're saying it isn't the case for Maki specifically, outside of obviously the reasons why it isn't the case overall, typically speaking. But for Maki specifically, you're saying that the way her body works in regards to her energy level is the only reason why, unique to Maki, it's the case that this wouldn't work as well? Or is it, are there other reasons that you give as to why it wouldn't be the case for Maki specifically? Because I know you gave arguments, of course, for why it wouldn't be relevant, typically speaking, but for Maki specifically, is it the case that you get more features, or is it only the energy
Oh,
pool?
I also said, well, I didn't elaborate, but I said like if there was an instance that we could find within the story.
Yeah, I know you said that. That's why I wanted to ask.
Yeah,
So when y'all say that y'all aren't concluding on everything before I give my judgment, what are you guys not concluding on? Because there are multiple points to which you guys
Okay,
didn't argue on. That what are you not
okay,
concluding on?
we're not concluding on Rosa versus Naoya because we obviously didn't even get into like extrapolating the
we're not
points.
concluding on Cursia versus Maki either. That whole thing.
Okay, yeah, we're
I
not
haven't
concluding
made
on
an
Kirsty
argument
versus
for that
Maki.
yet. We're just
Okay,
talking about whether or not.
okay, but there is a claim in which is completely relevant. I don't want to. Okay, bro. Okay, one of the burdens that Westbound
Wait,
placed
oh,
upon
all
you
right.
is
You know
to
what? Wait. You know what? 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 It's fine.
wait. No. I just want to clarify. Okay, so for the analogy point, okay, I 100% that didn't go through because the features of the whip, the features of the whip, and how it interacts with the world is not proportionate to our specific freedoms of movement. So that's kind of irrelevant. So that analogy didn't go through. That's 100%. That analogy was disanalogous within this situation. Secondly, yes, energy consumption, 100%. Yes, that's completely fine as well. However, one of the burdens that Westbound placed upon you, Rizhan, which is, I don't know if y'all concluded on this specific part, which is what I wanted to clarify, is whether or not Maki actually did travel in a way in which was slower than Naoya. Because you said one reason as to why you disagree with the proportionates, or I apologize, the proportions relative to the freedoms of movement is this instance where they're both moving linearly. However, Maki is not keeping up with Kershaw. We see that Kershaw is ahead of Maki. He placed the burden on you, but you never sent the scan or justify that. So that's why I want to ask if you guys were concluding on that specific point
Yeah,
as well,
but
because
we
this,
concluded on Maki.
but
We concluded on Maki versus Kirsty though.
Okay.
We did it. Wait, my bad.
Okay,
We
then
just said that
fine.
we're
That's
not
whatever.
concluding. We just said that we're not concluding on Maki versus Kirsty.
Oh my God, bro.
yeah, but I know, but this point,
No,
bro,
this like
this.
this whole travel speed point.
But
This whole
I'm saying
travel
this
thing.
is one of the reasons as to why you don't believe it's proportionate
Yeah.
because we see that Maki, for example, is able to dodge point blank in addition to her precog, whatever combative speed, she's able to punch him, whatever. However, obviously you didn't grant the punch spit shit because you're going to talk about that. However, within this instance, we just see empirically that Maki was able to keep up with him travel speed wise. So I'm saying that this point obviously is extra justification for your point relative to what you guys are talking about now. However, is it the case that you guys want to conclude on that because there's a lot of shit y'all guys don't want to conclude on, so I'm confused.
Personally, I don't want to conclude on that. We just said we weren't
Jesus
concluding. I mean,
Christ, dude, you just fucking helped this
yeah,
guy.
That's okay. That's why I didn't want to fucking say it because obviously, if I frame it like that, He's not going to want to conclude
Like
on
you're
it.
giving now, like bro, like this guy mistracked like 3 times. Now we're just being fucking terrible.
Literally, that's why I didn't want to say it.
Like, bro, I'm not rewarding a mistrack. I'm concluding. I said I can. Like, bro, I knew exactly what was gonna happen. You're like,
Yeah, I
I'm
literally told like
No, but the problem is,
I
I told you to. No, but I told you to. Wait, number one, I
Nah,
told
we're
you to
done, bro.
repeat
We're done.
everything.
We're done. We're done. We're
No,
done.
I
no,
told
okay,
you
no,
to
no,
repeat
Bro, you
everything.
lost, bro. It doesn't matter. So shut the fuck
he
up.
did repeat that multiple times. But for this point, I'll go back to the recording. But
I said it like
seemingly,
7 times. I couldn't
yeah,
have made it
no, no,
any
no, no,
clearer.
no, 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 no. You repeated it enough. I agree that he definitely repeated it enough for I don't think that's the issue. But the thing is, I don't know what you guys concluded on because I asked if you guys were concluding on everything, and when I
We're
asked
concluding
you
on the
what you
whole
guys were
travel
not,
speed shit. Infinity.
I
I
know,
tried
but y'all,
telling you this,
what y'all
bro.
said, y'all are not concluding on inertia or fucking inertia.
No,
Versus
no,
not
no. Like the punching, the combat is what we weren't concluding on, but we were concluding on the whole travel speed shit.
No, no, no.
That's
Y'all
not
were
what we're
concluding.
concluding.
But okay, Rizzhan thinks you're concluding on the physics shit overall and the
Oh
proportional shit
my
overall. You
god,
believe that
bro.
you believe that you're concluding on the proportional shit as well as the proportional shit in regards to Maki speed. So that's the difference
Obviously.
between. Okay, I agree. I'm saying that's the difference between what you guys think y'all are concluding on. That's the issue. I don't know, bro. Like what the fuck?
Oh, God. Bro, I'm not gonna lie. Like, if you didn't bring that up, he was not gonna catch it. He was just gonna.
That's why I didn't want to say it because I wasn't trying to help anybody. That's bro. Like you heard me hesitate to bring it up because I'm not trying to help
I
anybody.
tried cutting you off, bro. I tried cutting you off.
Bro, yo. Yo,
Yeah,
nigga.
what a swell point to conclude on.
Okay,
What
y'all
an
going to
absolute
okay.
treat.
So Maki punches him, blah blah blah. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah. How fast Maki's punches?
I already told you I'm doing.
Huh?
All right.
Can you give me like
Okay,
1 month?
y'all can go.
Hold on, wait, bro. I'm gonna get some water. My mouth is dry. Pause.
Is he even in here?
Yeah,
Where's
He
Rizzhan?
I'm
left.
here. I'm here.
I'm
Oh,
just supposed
never
I'll
mind.
go
Oh,
ahead.
Yeah, I
he
forgot.
has his head in his hands. He's absolutely devastated from the
Wait,
Okay,
which one?
clap
Riz,
he
No,
well,
was
I
y'all
was.
getting.
can talk about y'all can talk about the travel shit, but if you don't justify it, you don't justify it. But y'all can also talk about the punch shit that y'all talked about, and then whatever else. Go ahead.
That's green, bro. That's so green.
Yeah,
No,
bro.
but
Like,
You made my job like 10 times harder.
okay,
no,
bro,
but I have.
bro.
No, but I have to go now, anyways, because
Okay, we can conclude here. We conclude everything here. Hold on. Can we just disregard the Chelsea shit because you didn't give me a response chance to respond to it? Like, just disregard it.
but if wait, what? I repeat the total stuff multiple times, and
Yeah,
you
and I
didn't.
said I was gonna refute it, and I sent scans.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna like
yeah, and I was
given
gonna.
hold on, given what I said you guys were concluding on, it's bro, like, yo, oh my god, niggas are annoying, bro. This is what you gotta clarify with your conclusion on okay, bro. Can y'all just conclude bro? Oh my god. Yeah, this is retarded.
Hold on,
So
wait. No, we gotta. If you want to argue on the Choso and Naya shit, like it's not like I mistracked it. I said we're gonna get to it after this, and I sent the scans. You can
Said
see like
about.
where I sent the scans for
And
all the
that's what I
Maki
said
shit.
about that. That's what I said about the Naoya travel stuff as well. I said that we're gonna get onto that. Like I said that multiple times within the.
Yeah, and we didn't get to go on to it. So
okay,
like,
I
Yeah,
yes,
we
we
ain't gonna
did
didn't
lie,
get
get
to
to
bro.
it.
one time. Yeah,
Like, or do you want to argue about it now? Because like you have to go. You said.
but I have to go though. So
All right, so can we disregard the
I ain't
point
gonna lie.
because
Okay,
I didn't get a
I'm not
chance to
accepting
argue?
it because it doesn't matter. I'm not accepting the Joseph shit because you
All
made
right,
the
we're good.
claim that it's the case that the speed was limited, blah blah. He was able to increase his perception speed, and which allows him to go toe to toe with Naoya. He asked you to prove that. You got the scans. You didn't explain the scans in a way in which we're gonna tell your conclusion. So not trying to like hold you or anything like that, but just being fair overall. Since you do have to go, and you sent the scans prior, but you guys didn't argue over it. It's the case that I'm just not gonna accept that. If you disagree with that, we can talk about that later.
All right,
But
who won?
just to be fair. Okay. Yeah, Isaac Cameron, who won?
I just got here, bro. Didn't you judge me
I
for it?
think
Isaac,
I
based on
think
what
we
you
all
heard, bro.
know. I think we all know who Infinity thinks won. If you know what I'm saying.
I don't know. Wait, who do you think won? I watched your act, but you just give
Yeah,
your judgment.
yeah,
What are
we're
the
gonna have to
judges?
watch. We're gonna have to watch the recording together, bro.
All right. I mean, that's fine. Just save
Hold
it.
on, immediate. Just based off what you heard.
Westbound
Yo, did he just
won.
flip a coin?
Westbound won. Yo.
Yo, did he just flip a coin?
Nah, hey, we about to watch the recording though. Like, so, bro, there's certain points that I think Westbound won, certain points that I think Rizzhan won. Overall, I'm just gonna look at the recording to see as a combination what points would entail the overall victor. But yeah.
Bro,
I'm not gonna look at any
Westbound, bro.
recording.
Why didn't you argue that like Maki before she awakens already scales that guy in speed?
Bro, I don't know, man. I should have thought about it.
I literally said before the debate, like when we were discussing in the VC, that there's obviously going to be a distance between the two fighters. So even if it's the case that her combat speed is not proportionate to her travel speed, since there's a distance between the two fighters, she's just
No,
going to travel.
Infinity. Listen, that was like the next thing I was gonna argue for the combat speed. Like literally, it was just gonna be the. I even brought up the burden thing when I was responding to his precog. I think you heard it, and I was gonna elaborate. Like that. And by the way, you know the burden shit just went completely unresponded to.
Which one?
Where I said